talking about what you're already doing without thinking. I'm about to eat this cookie. I'm gonna be a big back, a fat fuck. Do I really wanna do this? It's not, I'm gonna work out more. It's when I get home from work, I'm gonna change and go to the motherfucking gym. Environment is the invisible hand shaping your behavior. People with the best self-control use it the least. Make good habits obvious. Make bad habits invisible. So what to do, YouTube? It's your boy Tay X Millie back again with another video. If you guys are new to the channel, please be sure to follow me on all platforms at Tay X Millie. So today we got a good one. Today we're gonna be covering atomic habits once again, right? So in part one, we talked about the fundamentals, identity, systems, and why habits compound whether you like it or not. But this part right here, this is where things get uncomfortable, because we're not talking about what you want, we're talking about what you're already doing without thinking. Most of your life is running on autopilot. And if you don't like where you're headed, it's probably because of most of the habits you're already doing without thinking. And that, my friends, is what Make It Obvious is really about. So we're gonna get right into it, starting with chapter 4, titled The Man Who Didn't Look Right. So here's something that should mess with you a little, right? Your brain is constantly picking up cues that predict outcomes without you consciously thinking about it. You walk into the room and something is off. You meet someone and you instantly don't trust them. You open your phone without even deciding to. That's not intuition, that's pattern recognition. Your brain encodes lessons through experience, and your ability to acknowledge relevant cues is the foundation of every habit you have. Here's the dangerous part though. You don't even need to notice a cue for a habit to start. Once a habit is formed, your actions get handed over to autopilot. In other words, the more you repeat something, the less you question it. And over time, the cues fade into the background. Cookies on the counter, remote on the couch, the phone in your pocket, they're so normal, you stop seeing them. Carl Jung said it best. The more you make the unconscious conscious, the more it will rule your life and you'll start calling it fate. That's heavy, because if a habit stays mindless, you can't improve it. And here's another truth people avoid. Every habit serves you in some way, even the bad ones. There aren't good or bad habits in isolation. There's only net outcomes. Beating your meat, short-term relief, long-term damage. That's how habits need to be evaluated. Ask yourself, does this behavior help me become the person I want to be? Is this habit casting a vote for or against my identity? Because the first step to change isn't motivation, it's awareness. And that means sometimes calling it out mid-action. I'm about to eat this cookie. I'm gonna be a big back, a fat fuck. Do I really want to do this? And that moment breaks the spell. Now we're gonna move into chapter 5 and talk about why most people never start. People don't fail because they lack desire. They fail because they're vague. Study after study shows the same thing, that people who make specific plans about where and when a habit will take place tend to follow through. This is what we call an implementation intention. It's a simple formula. When X happens, I will do Y. It's not, I'm gonna work out more. It's when I get home from work, I'm gonna change and go to the motherfucking gym. Specificity kills decision fatigue. A fresh start helps too. A new week, a new month, a new year, because hope is higher and hope gives you a reason to move. Here's what a lot of people miss, is that when you're unclear about what you're building, you say yes to everything. Little favors, little distractions, little exceptions, and those things quietly kill momentum. But that's where habit stacking comes in. You take a habit you already do, like brushing your teeth, hopefully, making coffee, and then you stack it with something that you're trying to build. No reinvention and no drama. That's the first law of behavior change. Make it obvious. Moving on to chapter 6, we're going to discuss why motivation is overrated. Your habits change based off the room you're in. Not your willpower, not your intentions, the room. Environment is the invisible hand shaping your behavior. Most of what you do every day isn't a conscious choice. It's the most obvious choice that's placed right in front of you. And that's why motivation keeps failing you. If you want a habit to dominate your life, the cue has to dominate the environment. Most people live in spaces designed by someone else, but you can design yours. Reduce exposure to bad cues and increase exposure to good ones. Think about drinking, for example. People don't drink more because they plan to. They drink more because friends are ordering drinks. You got the music playing, got bottles right there. So understand, the cue isn't one thing, it's the whole situation. You should stop thinking of your environment as objects and start thinking about it as relationships. Put it like this, you got the same couch, but two different outcomes. One person reads there at night, the other watches Netflix and eats ice cream. Same couch, but different identity. That's why habits are easier to change in a different environment. New gym, new routine, new context. You're not fighting old triggers anymore. And that's not running from the problem, that's changing the battlefield. There was a time when going to the gym felt like a debate every day. And not because I didn't want to train, but because I was battling with friction. So I changed one thing. I started keeping a gym bag packed. Change of clothes, gym shoes, nothing crazy. But once that bag was sitting there, the decision was made for me. The cue was already there. Same thing with reading. I used to say, I want to read more. But the books were tucked away somewhere, out of sight and out of mind. Once I left 2 books on my nightstand, reading in the morning felt obvious. Like, why wouldn't I? Then there was my phone. I realized I was checking it constantly anyway. So instead of fighting the habit, I redirected it. I changed my lock screen to my goals for the year. Every time I unlocked my phone, they were right there. And without forcing it, I started scripting videos, editing shorts, not because I suddenly became more disciplined, but because the cue was staring me in my face. When the environment supports the behavior stops feeling hard. Now moving on to chapter 7, we're gonna talk about the real secret to self-control. Here's a twist. People with the best self-control use it the least. They don't white knuckle temptation, they avoid it. Discipline isn't about being tougher, it's about being smarter with your setup. Bad habits disappear. Bad habits feed themselves. You feel bad, so you scroll. You scroll, so you feel worse, and you scroll more. That's called cue-induced wanting. Once the cue appears, the craving follows. That's why just resist doesn't work in the long term. You don't erase habits, you outgrow them. And the best way to do that is to redesign your environment. Instead of making good habits obvious, make bad habits invisible. Not with willpower, but with design. The TV's killing your focus, move it to the bedroom. If you're spending too much money on tech, stop watching reviews. If you're gaming too much, unplug the console and put it away. Remove the cue and the habit often fades. Environment beats motivation every time. If you want different habits, stop asking, how do I become more disciplined? Instead, ask, what cues am I surrounded by? What behaviors am I repeating without thinking? What environment is shaping me without my permission? Make good habits obvious. Make bad habits invisible. That's not a sign of weakness, that's leverage. And leverage beats willpower every time. And that's Atomic Habits Part 2. If you guys did enjoy the video, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll catch y'all on the next one. All right, later.